Okay, example 5-2 is about the sketch of water surface profile in the channel, which connects two reservoirs as shown in the figure below. So the bottom channel of the channel 1 is steep, as mentioned here. So we have a steep channel, and then the second channel is mild. Even without this notification, we would be able to identify the channel classification by looking at the critical depth line versus normal depth line. So here, the normal depth line is below the critical depth line. So the channel is steep and the flow is supercritical. Whereas in the second portion of the channel, the critical depth line is below the normal depth line. Therefore, the channel is mild and the flow is subcritical. So you notice that the normal depth line, where we have the actual water level, changes from subcritical to supercritical. So here we are going to have a hydraulic jump. Okay, so anytime that we want to connect a gradually varied flow curve to critical depth line, we want to make sure that we have a significant slope. So this portion would be like this. And then anytime that we want to connect the flow to normal depth line is going to be asymptotic. So if I want to connect normal depth line to critical depth line, is going to be within a slope and then asymptotic. And definitely here we are going to have hydraulic jump. So I'm going to write down hydraulic jump. Okay. So the water level at the upstream reservoir is above the critical depth line. So again, we are going to have a sharp connection from the gradually varied flow curve to the critical depth line. And then from critical depth line to normal depth line is going to be an asymptote. So like this. And the same thing from normal depth line going to the critical depth line is going to be with a significant slope. So we are talking about the slope here, and then a slope here, which is asymptotic. And then after the critical depth line, it just connected to the water surface. So this would be the gradually varied flow curve. The next step is to do the classification. So if you remember, we have zoning. So we have zone 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so here we assume that the reservoir is horizontal. So the normal depth line is between the gradually varied flow curve is between is above both critical depth line and normal depth line. So this can be S1 here because it's in a steep location. So this portion is S1. And then between two curve is S2. And then we have S2 here. And then we have mild channel. So the portion of curve here between normal depth line and critical depth line is M2. And then here we have another M2 curve. Okay, so that would be the classification.